Hey guys, my name is Andre. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and let's get right into it. And if you've ever wondered, how much money does a magician actually make? We're going to be exploring that question with my friend Alexander Straub, who is a millennial magician making a ton of money with magic. When I say magic, I don't mean Magic the Gathering, because I know that can be super lucrative. In fact, the Black Lotus card in mint condition can sell for over 100 grand, which is crazy to me. Though I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player myself, that's beside the point. When I say magic, I mean card tricks. So if all of that blows your mind, stick around because today I get to travel to Germany to meet and hang out with my friend and ask him exactly how he got there and why he gets paid so much. Now, if you're saying to yourself, Andre, this isn't important to me, I don't care, I don't want to be a magician, well, stick around because this information is useful no matter what you want to do in life. Whether it's you want your own business, or you're wondering how to invest your money, or you want to be a real estate agent, doesn't matter because it all comes down to how you market and present yourself to your audience. And that's what this video is going to cover. So if all of that sounds interesting, stick around and perhaps smash or perhaps gently tap the like button, and I would really appreciate it. So having said that, let's go back to the beginning where I asked him the original question, why do you get paid so much? So you make over $100,000 a year performing card tricks? Why?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. Why?
I don't know.
Tell me that story real quick about what you did, like to get your fill of like, this is my point of success. I feel like I made it. You bought a Rolex.
I did.
So what happened?
I did. So I always had this dream. One day, when I know I made it, I'm gonna buy myself a Rolex.
Okay.
It's just this far away dream.
Okay.
Like everybody has a dream. Like I want to have a Ferrari. I want to have a car.
Right.
Mine was to buy a Rolex.
Right.
And then after a very tough year that turned out good at the end, or you were here, I was at a point where I was like, all right, I can afford it. I can buy my dream watch. I can fulfill my dream. And every time I look at my watch, I have to smile because it's my dream.
Right. You still have it?
I still have it.
Are you wearing it?
I am.
Oh my God.
This is my dream.
And it reminds you when you look at it of the hardship that you faced and how you overcame,
right.
And now how you can overcome anything. And that serves as like your reminder of like the process that you've been through to get to where you are today.
Right.
I'm gonna take you back to the beginning. So the beginning is I was doing, what was I doing? I was doing some videos. I was in high school?
You were in high school.
Damn, I was in high school and I was making this video series called Genesis, which was teaching people how to do cardistry. And it was like a 3 hour long DVD that showed you guys in 3 hours like how to do cardistry from beginner to, all the way to a pro.
But that was like way later.
Way later, sure. Right. But that was what I was kind of known for in the community.
Right.
And Alex, I don't know, just came out of nowhere and started messaging me, somehow found me online and became like a fan. And one day he just wrote out of nowhere and he's like, Andre, what would you do if I came to Vegas? And I'm like, you're 15 years old. I guess your mom's gonna let you go? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I guess I'd let you stay with me because what's a 15-year-old gonna do in Las Vegas by himself? And he's like, oh good, because I already bought the ticket. So he buys a ticket, he shows up to Las Vegas, he meets everybody, we go to this party at this guy, Chris Kenner's house. Chris Kenner, if you guys don't know who he is the executive producer for David Copperfield. And this guy throws annual parties and invites like the who's who list in magic. It's like the Hollywood event for magic. So Alex shows up, his mind's blown. He gets a ton of things. He gets like was it a basketball or a hat? What was
my
it?
hat.
A hat.
Yeah, my hat.
He gets a hat signed by everybody.
Yeah.
After that, I think fueled by fire and just inspired to grow as a magician.
Right.
Now he's doing touring shows. He actually is still in the middle of a giant, massive stage tour all over Germany. Right. And he's also doing YouTube. So he has over 300,000 subscribers, which is a number I'll probably never reach.
That's bullshit. Fast forward to next week. When you see this video, you probably has it.
Yeah, my flip-flops.
By the way, Andre made me dress up like this. We just shot a video. I was like sweatpants and t-shirt.
You can never talk about money not with a suit on.
It's Money Monday. Suit up.
Nobody's gonna take you seriously without a suit on. Gosh,
that's true.
Come on, you know this. So Alex now does YouTube. He does crazy appearances. So how did you get to this point to be able to charge people the amount that you... First of all, how much do you even charge for a show?
Billions.
Okay, Trump. But in all seriousness, let's say I was BMW or Mercedes, right? And I was like, I charge CLK $250.
higher the clientele is that's there,
Right.
the more I charge because I also do different stuff there.
Right, but do people hire you directly or through like an agent? How do they find you?
I have management.
Okay.
I work with agencies. Call my manager.
Right.
They're like, so we want to book Alex for our event. And
Right.
She'll do anything for you, with you.
Really?
Anything.
So I actually charge the same prices for my close-up as well, but I don't have really an agent. People just kind of find me directly. Now, of course, there's a catch. Obviously, we don't get booked for these kind of shows every single day. That would
8 hours a day.
That would be crazy, right? Yeah, you would find these gigs maybe a few times a month if you're really good and you're hustling and you're lucky and you have a really big name established. People can find you. Well, how much is a stage show then?
More.
More.
Let's tell them the part that makes them actually money.
Okay, let's tell them the part that makes them money. Okay,
Right.
what is the part that makes them money?
So when I understood that the more I am seen and the more people see of me, the more I can charge and the more I get booked.
Okay.
Because it was like, I think it was 2012.
Okay.
When I was first time in the local newspapers.
Okay.
And I noticed that when I was in the newspapers, I got a lot of bookings through
Okay.
this.
Right.
So I was like, all right, if I'm more often in the newspapers, I get booked more often. So I did, and it was true.
So I did.
So I did. And then I was like, okay. But what if I was on TV?
Okay.
Way more people see me, and I get booked way more. So I tried as hard as I could. I wrote every single TV station I could find.
Okay.
Every TV show I could
So
find.
you physically reached out to TV stations and
Emails.
newspapers
Right.
and emails and
Everything. But never as myself.
never as yourself.
Never as myself.
That's clever.
Never
okay.
sell yourself.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Never works.
I'm acting like I don't know this shit.
You do the same stuff. Yeah. There's always a third person writing the email,
Right.
which is always us.
Somehow magically resembles your everything.
Right. I did this. I was like, so yeah, our artist would like to be on your show, blah blah blah. So I did
Okay.
this until like a small local TV show or TV station was like, nah, all right,
Right.
okay. So they came to my house, they did the thing, they filmed me and went live. It was great. Got some bookings for it. They booked me again for end of the year show,
Annual show. Yeah.
annual show. I was there, I performed, it was great. And from there, over like a bunch of social media, a bunch of great coincidences, I got into the biggest talk show in Germany.
What was the guy's name?
Stefan Raab.
Right, which for us, I guess would be like the Jimmy Fallon or the
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel or whoever it is.
Or Ellen or
So,
something.
yeah,
The
so he got
biggest.
on the national biggest television spotlight.
And I was-
randomly, completely randomly. They found you.
Yeah, and I was
Okay.
17.
Okay. Did
They
they
call-
find you on YouTube or how did they?
They found me somehow.
They must have found you on YouTube.
Probably, but I didn't really upload much back then.
Okay, but back then nobody uploaded much.
Right. But I know that I sent out a bunch of shit also to them. So
Right.
maybe they were like, alright. They reached out and I was like, hey, can you come on our show? I was like, I have time.
Let me check my schedule. Yes.
So yeah, I went. And after this, the first 2 weeks, I was super depressed because I was like, I have to be rich now. Everybody wants to book me probably.
Right.
I'm on the biggest TV show ever. And then I came home, checked my emails, and it was just like 3 mails. One was like, so we have this kids party. Can you perform for free? The second one was
Be a
like,
great exposure opportunity.
right. So and we have food.
Yeah.
The classic.
We have nachos.
And it was like 3 like this. And I was like, you f***ing serious? What the?
Where's my fame?
Where's my fame?
Yeah.
So it took a while. It took a couple of weeks, and,
Okay.
then it started, and then it went crazy, and then it went booking after booking after booking. So I was like, that was great, that was perfect, and with this credential, I could get on more TV shows.
Okay, right, of course. Yeah, it's a snowball effect.
It's a snowball effect.
Same with investing. You start with a little bit, that little bit, it's exponential compounding, it's compound growth, and it's the same, I guess, with exposure.
Yeah, it's you start here, you use this, go here, and you just continue.
Yep.
And I did a bunch of TV shows. I did like 20 TV shows in like 1 year, which was amazing. But that didn't happen by itself. I still had to reach out to everybody, but I was
Right.
like, so I was here, can I come to you? I was like, yeah, okay. And then I did this for a while. Just to remember, I was still in school. And after I was done with school, I entered this world champion competition.
Right.
And then I was to my mom, I was like, so if I win, I'm gonna do it full time. If I lose, I'm gonna go and study.
That's
She was
cool.
like, all right.
That's really cool, yeah. So you promised your mom basically, like, if you won, you were gonna continue magic.
Yeah.
And
I'll
if you
pursue it.
and if you got 4th place.
I would go to college.
Right. Top 3 still counts, mom. Okay. And then
I
what?
was a special kid. I won.
You won.
I won.
You won the whole thing. So
Second place in variety was a guy who fit his whole body through like a tennis racket.
Oh,
Second place.
Yeah, that's cool. Huh.
Amazing.
There's an act in Vegas in a show that does that. Yeah, it's a very famous act where you squeeze your body through like a tennis racket. It's crazy.
Very strange. But yeah, that was
okay,
fun.
So you won, and then from then on the floodgates opened, right? The opportunities came, and you were showered with Benjamin. Okay.
No. I performed the one. From Vegas, I tried to reach out to German TV stations like, hey, I want this. And here, you see, some of them were like, okay, we get you on the show. So I went back to Germany, went on some TV shows, but nothing huge happened back then. So it was like, it kind of just continued.
Right.
But now I did it full time, so I kind of expected it to be better.
Right.
Everything that happened, like, that made me bigger, I kind of raised my fee a little.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah. Back then, I always said I started like a hooker, 50 euros, half an hour show. And then I went up to 100, 150,
right,
200, 250.
You're a high-end escort now.
I was. Then 400, 500, 600 for a while. From 600 up to like 800.
For an hour show.
No, for like 45 minutes. I don't work that long.
I don't work that long.
Crazy. Right. Up and up and up until I went like at 1200 for a while.
Right. Okay, so you used a lot of the TV appearances to basically escalate, grow your price, get more exposure, and it's a self-fulfilling snowball prophecy. Now, with the money that you made at this point, with that money, you invested in bought illusions, right? Alex, by the way, he has these giant illusions that he brings to his shows in case his clients need it or for his stage shows. And so that is how he invested his money. Whereas for me, for example, I would invest it into stocks and equities that pay me dividends. He instead invested it back into his business where he bought giant illusions, which cost like tens of thousands of dollars. Right. You can charge your clients a lot of money for that because the demand is there, but the supply of people who can actually do this is very little because the barrier of entry is so high, right? And so that's what you did to separate yourself out. And now that you have these grand illusions, you can promise clients things that really no magician can. Right? Right. At the end of it, you don't have to be the most talented, right? Like a lot of the material that people like myself and Alex do in the presentations that we do are either the classics that you could literally find this material on my YouTube or his YouTube or really anywhere. You could learn this stuff and it's not that difficult. The hardest part really is to market yourself and separate yourself and kind of sell yourself in a way to clients that separates you from everyone else. And that could be different things for you. For me, it was my experience with consulting on the Now You See Me films and my Brain Games appearances and a few like commercials that kind of separated me. And also I do cardistry, so I'm not doing magic, I'm doing like more hand manipulation type stuff. And for you, it was just this TV appearance, the winning of the competitions, and
someday can YouTube.
Yeah, and the YouTube stuff. This kid blew up. He's a huge YouTube star. Actually, there is another secret that you guys... There's another secret. So if you guys can collaborate, and I realize not everyone can do this, but if you can collaborate with people that are better than you or have access to more eyes and viewership than you do, or a different one, didn't collaborate together, and you did that.
I did.
Like you collaborated with some of the biggest German YouTube stars. From that, you got a ton of subscribers, and a lot of people who saw you. So your YouTube, like I was in his show watching. We went to Stuttgart, like we went to Cologne, we went to all these different cities, and I see his crowd, and they're super, super young. And I know that they are his subscribers from YouTube. Yeah. So literally he leverages his YouTube to put on live shows, which is so cool. And so
it's your marketing tool.
It's your marketing tool, right? So that's also how you separate yourself. Not only are you performing, but also you're leveraging YouTube. And so that's another thing you guys can do. Or another trick is to separate yourself by charging a ton of money. People notice agencies, they put you guys in a different price bracket. Because agencies, they organize people by performers, but they also have a different search criteria where they can lump you with all the people that charge tens of thousands of dollars, right? And so they put you in this group that charges this crazy amount so that when someone calls and says, hey, I have a $20,000 budget for my party, I need a magician. They're not gonna search for magician in the pool of $500 people. They're gonna look at that $20,000 range and that's where they might find you. That's a pro tip right there.
That's dope. I need to be in that category.
Thank you, Alex, for being dope, having me.
Thanks, bro.
Leaving tomorrow, guys. Leaving back to Vegas. I'm probably already in Vegas by the time this video is uploaded, but visit me. It's been real.
But I'm waiting until it's stressful.
Just wait until you have a life crisis. Yeah.
Like always, the most stressful times of our lives, we just visit each
I don't know what it is.
time.
This is true, so true. Every time we have these most stressful points in our lives, either our lowest or our most depressing or our scariest, we're like, hey, I'm coming to Germany. Or, I'm coming to Vegas to visit you. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which maybe is good.
Yeah.
Always lifts us up.
It is, yeah, it's great.
It's great.
Romance. And in this crazy world of entertainment, or pretty much anything where you're trying to sell something, whether it's yourself or a product, one of the best ways of making a ton of money fast is by doing something that's in the business known as the reel. Now, of course, the reel is your highlighted, compressed version of your life from 30 seconds to 1 minute of some of the craziest and most awesome moments in your life, and that's what you're gonna show your clients. Now, this is something I used to do and something I still do and charge a ton of money for my clients to make them a reel. So I'm not trying to advertise this, but I will leave a link in the description below of the reels that I made for my friend Alex and for myself. This information is usually not very public because this is something we share with our clients. So if you know some basic video editing, try to emulate some of this stuff. And while of course it's not everything we show our clients, this is some of the most important things of getting your clients excited and passionate about you. So I'm gonna leave that in the description below. So if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know, like, and subscribe to this video series because every Monday I share with you guys finance tips, ways to think about money, and all this crazy fun stuff. So having said that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.
Yo, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the new vlog of Andre Jik. It's gonna be amazing. We're here in our bus. Andre, please don't die. And this is our beds, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be such a fun time. See you guys into the next vlog. Goodbye.
Yes. It's gonna be my bed right here. It is small.
Like your dick.
I'll take it though.